President Donald Trump officially backing Republican Bruce Blakeman for New York's next gubernatorial election.
Now, it comes just days after Republican Congresswoman Elise Stefanik abandoned her campaign. She said in a statement on Friday she's dropping out of the race to avoid a costly primary and to focus on her family. She also will not run for re-election to Congress.
Tonight, Plattsburgh Bureau Chief Alec Lasham is following this story for us. Alec, what do political experts think about her decision?
Yeah, hey, Darren and Kiana. Today I spoke with a political science professor who believes her decision is based on more than just family and an expensive primary contest against Blakeman. SUNY Potsdam political science professor Jack McGuire thinks Stefanik's announcement goes all the way back to when President Trump pulled her nomination to the UN. Since then, he says we've seen Stefanik at odds with Republican Speaker Mike Johnson and even seen unfavorable potential outcomes in the governor's race. That includes a Siena poll last month that showed her down around 19 points in an election with Governor Kathy Hochul. McGuire believes the final straw for Stefanik was when she did not receive full backing from Trump after Blakeman entered the race.
She got humiliated in that she was very loyal to the president, and then the president was wishy-washy in endorsing her or not endorsing her.
Other local Republicans have come out to support Blakeman, including North Country Republican Assemblyman Matt Simpson and Jerrica Manning, the chair of the Clinton County Republican Committee. Now, tonight we have reached out to Congresswoman Stefanik regarding her announcement, but have not yet heard back. Darren, Kiana.
Alec, thank you.